Not your average tabletop. Woohoo!
Welcome to Not Your Average Tabletop. I'm Zach,
And I'm Pepper.
and today we're back with another episode of Take My Money, where we look at some current crowdfunding projects that are board game related,
Yes,
and
17
let you know
projects
what
this
our
week,
thoughts
so we're
are.
going to have to go fast.
We got a lot of them to do today, folks, and we've got a couple game found, mostly a lot of Kickstarter. It was crazy when I looked at it. We've been kind of doing every 2 weeks recently, and that seemed to work. But this time, there were so many projects. I don't know. It must just be one of the hottest times of the year to run a Kickstarter game found project right now. So. Let us know in the comments below if there's any that we missed that you'd like to see. But otherwise, I think we'll be coming back next week. So definitely subscribe so you can see that if you're interested in us covering maybe some of them that are going to end after like 7, 8 days. That's what we currently have. We're going out
Yes.
about that far. So
Yes.
let's get into it. We've got Matt LaFleur,
Yes.
Extravagant Gardens in Rococo, France.
Yes, I was disappointed when it wasn't the story of Matt LaFleur becoming the coach for the Green Bay Packers. But this was a close second for theming, I guess.
That's fair. That's fair. And it's interesting that it's like with Rococo being a game,
Oh, yep.
a pretty popular game, actually. I think that is Eagle Griffin Games, I think.
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
not sure if it's Vital Lacerda, though, so it might be like one of the only games that they. So I think it was previously made by someone else. But yeah, this one's doing pretty well, over $400,000. Oh, 4,600 backers, which is maybe close to the most out of any
Yep.
project this week. And yeah, it definitely, from the cover, it seems to be giving the same vibes with everything else in the game.
Yes.
It's definitely kind of a. I need Michaela here to tell me because I was going to say like Victorian look, but I
It's the
don't
word that
actually know
comes
that
to
that actually
mind.
makes any sense. But you know what I mean. I'm
Yes.
sorry if I've got that wrong, but it has a very
The simple
classy look.
man's Victorian, that's what we call it.
Exactly.
Um,
And yeah, it looks like it's got some interesting gameplay. You're going out and getting these flowers and then planting them to try to get different guests to come in, trying to I don't know impress them with your kind of gardens that you are building, and then just kind of adding to them, making what seems like to be like an engine sort of thing. You're getting more bonuses and stuff or points and stuff from bringing these people in. Um, I don't know that I love the look of that board.
Yeah, the all the game looks really good, except maybe the board, which maybe
Yeah,
in person it would pop a little differently.
that's
I
true.
know there have been a few games where I'm like, I'm not sure about the look of that board, and then it turns out to actually be pretty nice. So hopefully that's the case here. But just on this kind of zoomed out image on the computer, not sold on it.
I would agree. And yeah, sometimes in person it ends up looking a little bit different. Uh, but yeah, it looks like you have to be wearing certain
Yes, yes.
clothes
Hopefully
to
it comes with
play the game.
the gloves
Uh,
and dresses.
yeah, so I don't know if they'll allow me to play it. I'm just a pure peasant. But uh, I think this one is well. I mean, by the number of backers here, it's definitely got a lot of people interested in the game. It seems like one that should be fairly approachable. I don't think it's going to be too heavy of a game.
Yeah, it
You
didn't
can make
seem
some
like
interesting
there
decisions,
was.
but
I didn't look too closely, but it seemed decently straightforward. Where something like I was thinking of Obsession initially with this, and
mhm,
then that's a decently heavy game. This one
mhm.
seemed a little lighter.
Yeah, I would agree. A Jesse's obsession,
Yes.
since I usually like the heavier games, and he tends to go like a little bit not
Yeah. Yeah.
crazy. But yeah, the price is pretty reasonable. $39 for the base. You got $75 for to include the expansions. It's always tough when and then $99. Seems like
Those
all games do it
ones.
now, but it's tough when you've got all these expansions to a game that you haven't played. Um, whether or not that's really needed, because to me it
Kids
seems
game.
more. What's that?
Kids game. My goodness.
Ooh, there is the kids
This
game.
one.
So it is not a kids game, but it comes with one if you
Yes.
back that top level there.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think I don't know. This one seems like it'd be one of the simpler ones, and you're either gonna like that or not. I don't know that it'll need the expansions, but
Yeah.
yeah, and then you get into the shipping, and that's where it gets you.
So it gets you that where it hits up to like a minimum. What would that be, like 50 to 60, possibly up to 80 or even 100, depending what pledge level you're getting. And it's just a bit too much. But yeah, a lot of people back it, so I'm sure there's going to be a lot of buzz on this one. And if it
I'm hoping that
becomes,
that means it'll make it to it'll make its way to retail at some point, and
hopefully,
we'll probably end up at least the base version. I don't know about the expansions and stuff, but I would think that would get to retail at some point and be close to the same price, if not probably maybe a little cheaper once you factor in that shipping. When was that supposed to deliver?
Oh, that was March of 2025.
Okay, so what's that, right after the Chinese New Year? So they probably have to get it shipping before that starts. Otherwise, that'll probably be delayed a little bit. I feel like that's the tough time. I don't know anything about being a board game publisher, but usually when it's around there, it can get delayed, and then all of a sudden it's summer of that year.
Back of a few projects. I've had a couple projects that get delayed by multiple Chinese New Years.
Gotta hope it's only one. This one might actually have the most backers, and this is not surprising. This one is a game that has been out. This is for a Canvas big box, which the game is Canvas, and made over $500,000. Still 5 days to go. It's doing really, really well, and I think this one's kind of just been, I don't know, a big hit ever since it came out. And it's crazy because it looks so approachable, and in ways it is. It depends really how much you want to just go with the flow of making the picture, not trying to do well, but not necessarily optimize maybe every single thing. Depends how much you need to do that.
But yeah, for our brains,
for us,
trying to get the perfect card, it can get pretty crunchy. But yeah, it definitely just depends on how you want to play it. You can just go out there and say, I want to make the most beautiful picture, and I'll score whatever I score. That's definitely a valid way to play. Just as fun, probably even more fun than melting your brain trying to get all the right symbols.
Right. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's one that I probably haven't played as much as I'd like to. Although I don't know, we don't have any of the expansion content, right?
Oh, no.
And I don't know that it would. I guess I haven't looked at what the expansions really are or do. If you do have them all, though, I'm sure this big box, it looks like a pretty good storage solution.
Yeah.
I don't know that if you're someone that doesn't have anything with Canvas, I think the base game's already pretty solid.
Yeah. We only have played the base game, and I like that quite a bit. I've seen little bits of some of the expansion stuff and kind of like mirrored or flipped cards. I'm like, that looks really cool, but and especially when you can line the 3 boxes up like that. Hang them on the wall, but I still haven't outplayed the base game, I would say.
Yeah, it's kind of like what I think about FLEUR. It could just be that kind of simple, great game that doesn't necessarily need more content, but is there for people that do want to add something to it. This one's got a March date as well, it looks like, so we're going to have a lot of things delivering around then. I think they still have Fromage delivering, I think. So something to know, but I just know that one because I've been interested in it, so I've been hoping that it'll come to retail. We'll see. What do we got shipping?
So shipping, so depending on, well, it looks like $4 for the US. Pretty good. So one big box game or expansion. So maybe some each additional, I think 4 there. But yeah, so just the big box, just for the storage solution. I don't think any content, maybe some slight little cards maybe through there. It's going to be $34. Or then if you want the extra cards, $44. Otherwise, you can go back and get the base game or the expansions or just all in get in here it's your first experience with Canvas. Get everything for $149, which for
Actually,
a
a lot.
complete
What is that?
collection is quite a bit of stuff, and that's a good price.
Yeah, that's definitely not bad. Yeah, that's a good chunk of the backers too. What was that, about 1,500 out of the 8,500 backers? I mean, that's a good chunk that are getting it all in, which is pretty crazy. It's doing pretty
And I
well.
like the big box has the original game's cover on it. It did not change it. I think there's a flip side to it. But a lot of times, big boxes maybe not as good artwork as the base game. This one,
That's true.
I really love that base game cover, and I'm glad they kept it and
Yeah,
expanded.
that is a very solid cover. We'll have to see if that artist has done more games to make our
Ooh,
artist
yes.
series. They need at least 10.
Yes. Another Dino game. Dino Dynasty.
And we had to do this because we're definitely into dinosaurs. We even had a Dino Mania. You can check out those videos. You can see our pterodactyl triple threat review of what is it, Dinosaur Island, Dinosaur World, and Dinogenics. Go check that out. But this one's doing pretty well. I mean, when I initially look at this, it doesn't have me like the most excited ever, I would say. It's got a different look to
The
it.
definitive dinosaur board game, Zach.
And then I saw that, and that's what changed my mind a little bit. Possibly.
Defend, develop, diversify, and dominate.
But it's doing pretty well. Almost 400 backers, 30,000. It seems like what Kickstarter's made for these types of games.
How many of these games? Make your predictions in the comments below. How many times is he going to say that about games in this episode?
We've got what, 13 more after this potential?
I would agree that it does feel like what Kickstarter was made for kind of game. Ooh, I like when they do the icons into a thematic twist on them. Little dinosaurs at the tabletop or showing their age.
Should have been a meteor going 30 to 60 minutes.
That's what it should be. The countdown.
Till doomsday. For the dinos.
I really like the artwork in this game.
I like the artwork more than I did when I initially saw that first. When I initially saw the cover, it just felt like, I don't know if this is trying to be scientific almost. I wasn't really sure what it was feeling like it was going to be. I don't know. Something about that. I don't even know if it was necessarily that cover, but just the initial image didn't sell me. But I do like, as I looked at more of it, I enjoyed it more because it definitely looks different than any of the dinosaur games we have, and we have several. So it's good that they're able to make it look different than a lot of what's already out there, I think.
Yeah.
And then something about these boards looked really, really interesting to me. I don't know that it actually is as interesting as it looks, but I'm like, interesting kind of grid thing.
Yes.
I don't know. There's something about it that just
I liked how they work.
caught my attention.
Because you're kind of upgrading your actions. You'll have like a tracker on each of these. So you have a group of 9 spaces here for this action, 9 for this action. It's kind of split into 4 quadrants, and in between each of the 2s there'll be a tracker, and you can move that to upgrade or evolve your actions. So if you move this token from the middle of the green-orange to the left, the 2 tokens that are corresponding to, I guess, the power of your action within the green and orange tracks are going to both move to the left. And I guess it's set up in some scientific way so that it's going to make one a little weaker and make one a little stronger, no matter which way you do it. And I thought that was really cool. Just a very intuitive way, fun to look at the options of what you can do, and just very clear, hopefully, when you just look at the board, the power of your actions as they're highlighted. And I love the artwork as well, just in the background of the FLEUR boards.
Yeah, I love
really
the FLEUR boards.
Because I was thinking, because it does feel a little smaller, independent type of game. I'm like, it's not. They don't always have like the best production or artwork or layout, but those really impressed me.
I would agree. And then something with the terrain tiles. I was like, oh, that looks pretty cool. And building out the board, that sounds like a really fun thing. and kind of it sounds like they kind of change as well throughout the game, the terrain type. So
Oh,
depending on like events and stuff that happen.
yeah. Then it even has some expansions. You want to get some expansions for it. From armor to tail clubs. So you need the tail clubs.
You do. Unfortunately, that's what you need.
Yeah, okay, so getting the base game is going to be, got to cheat and go over here, $54. You want the book, get the book, $54. If you want the base game and the expansion, that's going to be about $81. What else? Various ones for various amounts. All three for $140. Seems a little high. A little high. I mean,
Yeah, that was the unfortunate thing. It even though it looks really cool and seems to do some interesting things, it still feels like a smaller game. So then that price just kind of, especially then, you look at the shipping, it's starting to get pretty spendy for a game that could be really good. I'm not saying that's not worth it, and so many Kickstarter games nowadays seem to be getting to that 80, 70, 80 price point minimum. It just makes it so tough to back them when I don't know.
yeah.
It's hard to know without playing them. It's unfortunately hard to be like, oh, this is the one that's going to feel really cool, because it may
Yeah.
seem like it at first, then you get it and it's like, that didn't really work as well as I'd hoped, and that it looked like it was going to, felt like it was going to. I'm not saying that that's the case with this one, but I really wish it was a little more affordable, and I would definitely be considering it because it does look like there's some interesting things.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
good artwork.
Especially since we do have so many dinosaur games already. Just feels we already have a little bit invested in this, a reason to get it.
True.
So I hopefully it's well received. Maybe we'll go in on it.
Yeah, it's unfortunately
it
only
is,
400 backers. So
yeah, so I don't know how available it will
makes it tough to know if it'll be in retail. Yeah, I
be.
guess you could look to see
Created 10 games before.
at what games. Are there any that?
Yeah, maybe they've just created this 10 times.
It's true.
Station Fall, I've heard of that.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
that one's I think pretty popular. So
Yeah. So this is going to
Yeah.
be a top 10 game. You heard it here. So that's
I
got
hope
me a little more interested.
that's true.
I'll do DragonStrike, from dinosaurs to dragons. DragonStrike.
Some people would classify them very similarly. And yeah, this one's got made $50,000, 275 backers, 40 hours to go. So not long. If you're really interested in this one, go right away, because even when you're watching this, it might already be over, because we're filming this the night before, so that's going to be 24 less hours probably. Not 24, 12 less hours or so.
Yes.
But yeah, I think I really like the look of the dragons. I like the idea of dragons flying around and
You've had it in
doing
your
things.
head for years, a possible game. Just an
With
idea.
dragons moving around the board similar to this and stuff. But I'm like, I didn't know this one didn't. Not really sure for gameplay wise if this one pulled me in 100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are almost the cards that I had imagined this game that I've
I
thought
think
of
I
being.
mocked up some images. I don't know where the heck they are, but I think they were just similar. It's a hexagon grid telling where you're moving. But this one looks like it does integrate like turning and what direction you're facing as well, which is interesting and kind of reminds me of now we did like a dogfight game, like two planes flying through the air and trying to outmaneuver each other. And this kind of reminded me of that, as you're trying to think of what your opponent's going to do and what moves they're going to do, and trying to set yourself up to be facing the right direction to flame them or ice them or whatever type of dragon you are attack.
Yeah, it does kind of feel like that one. And yeah, I think it definitely looks interesting. I don't know that this would be for us, especially at the price point.
Yeah.
I think the dragons look cool. I like the theme, but yeah, I don't know with that card play if that would end up.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it probably would end up feeling like it looks like it would be, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
It's interesting.
yeah. We have a few battling games that we already love very
That's the
much.
tough part.
Go in on $80 on the core pledge. It's a bit much. And if you do want dragons painted, which looks like they'll be really nice, bumps it up
Mhm.
to over $100, or even more if you want a little more deluxe or an extra map, which looks like it has a neoprene mat in the base game, which is pretty nice.
That's true.
We go up to $415, gets 2 maps, a bunch of things, enough for 8 players. Gets a bit much in some metal components. I don't know what I was describing these earlier. What was it? There was that. It just seemed ridiculous. There it is. What was it? Collector items worthy of Dragon Lord. Pound, heavy, bronze cast, quadruple dragon, 4-minute timepiece. Magnetized, iridescent control boards of iron cast meeples. Which seems pretty awesome.
That does sound pretty awesome.
A bit much.
But at the same time, yeah, if you're having to pay, what was it, $400 for it eventually,
Yeah.
it might be just a little bit too much for me, but there might be people out there. If you like dragons a lot, this one might be interesting for you.
Yeah.
About another
$20.
35.
So one also has kind of a feel of what Kickstarter was made for. It feels a
Yeah,
little
that's kind of
independent.
this was the initial one that I was thinking that. I think this was like one of the first ones I looked at. I'm like, this one feels like someone had a passion project on this,
Yes.
and yeah, I hope it does well, and I hope it's a very good game.
Yes. Children of Morta, the board game. Based on a video game. Apparently, I didn't discover until I got to the end of the page and saw the video game. Look at the video game. Like, it's on a video game. Explains why it says the board game.
That's true.
Fast-paced, co-op, shared bag building. Adventure about a family of guardians standing united against corruption. Yeah, that bag building. I love bag building. If you could share a bag,
Shared bag building.
that seems interesting to me. Got a lot of people interested. 1,500 backers.
1,500 backers, over 100,000. Week to go.
Yeah. Yeah, it looked really nice. Very colorful. All the dice and the resources. The artwork looked really good. And yeah, I shouldn't have looked at this one because I got very, very tempted.
Yeah,
got some mechanisms I like, and it looks really nice.
I really like the look of everything in this one too, because yeah, the splashes of color work really, really well, I think. And yeah, unfortunately, I wish I had not looked at these chips because I think outside of everything else deluxified, or I think everything else deluxified for the deluxified version, I was like, give or take it. Those chips, I was like,
it's
they know
bag
how to
building.
get people.
You gotta have those in there. You gotta have the acrylic bits, plastic bits in those bags.
Mm-hmm.
The clickety clack in the bag.
Exactly. But yeah, the cooperative shared bag building, I'm like, oh boy, that looks really good. I wonder, so if you scroll up, go back up to the little further, right there. The, what is it called? What's that kind of art style called right there?
Oh, just like
8-bit?
pixel something. What is it? 4-bit?
Whatever bit.
I forget
I
what
never
it is.
remember.
8-bit,
Yeah.
16.
Would you have rather had the art in the game be like that or the art that they used?
When I saw that, I thought, is that going to be the art? That would be interesting. Because I haven't seen that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what, or else just kind of like this. I mean, it's nice, but it's familiar. I think this would have been pretty cool to actually separate this from all the other games that are of a similar theme, and really connect itself to the video game, which I assume looks like that.
Right. Yeah. And that's what I was like, not that the artwork looks bad on the rest of the stuff, but yeah, like you said, for some reason it looks very, very familiar. Maybe it's Dice Throne or something. I don't know if it's is that Manny Tremble. I don't remember. Manny Tremblay does that artwork. I don't know if he does this, but yeah, I was thinking if they did that other artwork, I was like, could have a different look to it. So I don't know, but
Interesting because this cover does not at all like either of the two.
that's true too. I'm like, but the cover looks really good, so I'm like, maybe not. But then now you're showing me the cover, I'm like, it doesn't really look like that either. So I don't know, but yeah, I guess I didn't look too closely at the gameplay, but
I don't know. I think you can
you had me at shared
share,
bag
help
building.
share the bag, share resources, share rage to help boost your attacks, different things like that. It looked cool. It looked cool. I don't know how approachable it was. It looked like an easy open map or scenario. I think people can jump in throughout the campaign, jump out. I don't know. This one shouldn't have looked
45 bucks core.
That as well.
It's pretty good. I guess I don't remember what shipping is. Shipping might be $35 and it gets right up there again.
That's true. That was the standard edition. I guess the deluxe edition would be 85 bucks, which is still not bad. Because that was a lot. I think there were like 100 acrylic bips, 120 tokens.
That's
20
true.
metal coins, 10 gemstones, and a couple big metal pieces.
Yeah, like as much like I don't care about those big metal pieces. As much as I like metal coins, I was like, I don't really need it probably in this game. But then, yeah, the bits, it's like, well, I need that. I don't need it, but I like that
for like Cracks of Quedlinburg. I think those are like 30 bucks for one of those packs, 20 to 30 bucks. So I guess moving from 45 bucks to about 86 is about that. It's a little more because it does more,
but you
get more. And then if you want an extra divine pledge, you can get some neoprene maps for the players and some marbled dice, which probably wouldn't go in on that extra bit. But that's sad because marbled dice are really cool.
They are really cool.
That's a little too much, I think. But yeah,
price-wise,
looks really nice. Looks really nice. And I'm interested on it. Maybe we'll have to try it on Tabletopia.
We might have to
see if we have to buy this. But shipping was 15 to 17 for us. Not the worst.
No, not the worst.
Going to be March.
Still gets it up there too, but for all of them, as disappointed and depressed as I sound, that's just I think how it is now. It's just tough because it's like if I knew some of these were like coming to retail 100% for sure, which is not a for sure thing, it is probably a little bit more sure for some things versus others. But I guess did this one have previous projects?
Let's see. First created for roomies. I don't know the team if they have history with different things, possibly. I'm not sure.
You got a voice actor in there.
Yeah, voice actor. What is in this box?
And when is this set to deliver?
I believe in March of 2025.
Okay, that's another one. That ship is going to be full of board games, bringing them over. I guess I'm just assuming these are all made in China, but maybe not. Then we go to a little bit more of a small one. Making 14,000, just under 500 backers, week to go. Castle up. Your kingdom awaits. And yeah, when I initially saw this one, I was like, I really like the art style that they used. And it looked like the box was maybe a little bit smaller. And I'm like, I don't tend to mind if it's, I wouldn't say that it was maybe micro game, but like a smaller size or whatever than maybe a normal game. And it looked like it was more of like a tableau building style game. I always tend to like that style. And yeah, I guess I couldn't really tell exactly what you're doing because you could set up your kingdom and then it can be kind of attacked and stuff. But if you have it set up in certain ways, then it kind of defends it using resources and stuff to get there.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about it. I did just really like the theme, but it does. Yeah. It feels cool, kind of building your castle in a tableau. That theme is cool. Not that we're overly thematic gamers, but I don't know. I just feel like it works, especially since you are possibly attacking. And it does really feel like you're building your own thing and competing with opponents. So hopefully the theme does come through pretty good. But yeah, I don't know. There's so many of these games, theme-wise and kind of just mechanically, tableau building. I don't know what this sets itself apart. You'd have to look a little closer at it. But,
Yeah, for some reason, I think this one makes me think of After the Empire.
oh,
Maybe that's what's pulling me in extra. Yeah, I think overall the artwork on the cards and stuff look really nice. They look like really clean things.
print
It
and
looks like
play
it's a
version if you want it.
reasonable price. So yeah, $7 for the print and play. Was it 24 for the Kickstarter edition?
Yep.
It's not too bad. December 2024 delivery.
Oh yeah.
And leave your mark in history, $28.
Get your name in there. Go up to quite a bit and get a prototype version along with it.
I don't know if I need that, but if this is something that really interests you, that might be interesting.
Yeah.
But how much shipping on this?
That's right. Shipping 10 to 16 of euros.
Probably 15 to 20.
20, yeah.
I mean, it gets it up into the $40-$50 range, which I mean isn't awful. It's pretty good comparatively to a lot of the games, half the price, and looks like it could be really solid.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Oh boy, Pepper's favorite.
Pericle Labyrinth. This is, see this, I'm like, oh boy, here's another one. Another one.
Another one.
As
And people are still gobbling them up. Almost 800 backers,
almost
$127,000. Week to go.
Tabletop RPG with an app game master. Dungeon crawler. Oh my goodness, not another. Looks cool, artwork looks good, got a nice name. Got app integration, which can allow for some really cool things. So I do like that in games sometimes when they do use it really creatively. So it's got that going for it. But
I'd agree. It can kind of take care of some of the stuff that you wouldn't want to take care of on your own. So it's always really nice. And I think it's actually like an expansion, which is, I don't know, interesting. The way it has the name on there stuff, it does not seem like an expansion, but I think when it actually goes to the pledge level, I think it says expansion right there.
Oh, yeah.
So there is requires Gathering Darkness, but then I think there's like a pledge to get the core stuff that you need, and then like another pledge to several other pledges to get all these different levels. But yeah, this one seems very much like a lot of the other ones that seems like we have one every time we do one of these. We have at least one, if not two, bigger kind of dungeon crawl style games, and I don't know that anything really set this one apart. I would say even like the art and stuff was not my favorite of these style of games.
Yeah, it wasn't all that inspiring to me, but I mean, I think you do have to actually play these games to really know. We can just look at all of them and say, oh, these are the ones that stand out. You have to play it, and that's the thing that sucks about it. You either have to do a lot of research, watch some playthroughs, or actually play the game yourself. Otherwise, it's so hard to know because there are so many out there. Yeah, with app integration, I think it could go either way. Since it is an existing game, then I guess, yeah, check that out. I didn't know that, so check that out and see what people say, see if that seems like it's a game for you, and if it does, go ahead.
You got a chance on it. But yeah, I like how it's got a laptop in there, so it almost looks like it comes with a laptop. Which then the price isn't too bad.
It's not too bad. That's not
Getting
too bad.
a laptop with this game. But yeah, it looks like you can get a lot of different options of how you want to back it. And yeah, I think if that is like a version of like I think the second pledge level, I couldn't really 100% tell, but it seemed like you maybe weren't getting like the full core experience, but you got what you needed to play this.
Play with it.
I was like, I mean, I guess they could have just included that same type of stuff in this and kind of had it be a standalone expansion or something.
Oh yeah,
But I do like that they at least offer that, so they don't like say you have to go back and get the
yeah,
first
and get like
full
the
for it.
whole first game. Yeah, I'd like that. That's good. Shipping is going to be could be $10. Could be $10, which is pretty good for one of these games.
Pretty good shipping.
$10.
So I mean, that is something to think about. The pledge is a little higher, but then the shipping on this one comparatively, some of the other ones is a little lower, which is a little shocking because I would think this is one of the biggest boxes we've looked at so far.
Oh
Just from
yeah,
the look of it, it seems like it'd have the most. There'd be one of the heavier ones. So I don't know much about shipping.
but he knows enough to say this is something going.
Looks like a May 2025 delivery, so gonna be a year out. So it will be a while before you receive this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but interesting. I think they're a company from Minnesota. Like I think a few of these actually are. So
Oh yes,
gotta support them
dog
from
game.
Minnesota.
Okay. I mean, I thought there'd be a picture. Got a little dog, little dachshund. Gotta support them, man.
No, that was who they backed or what they backed. I'm like, Unsettled. I didn't think they did Unsettled.
But they know
It's
good
not
games.
doing even better.
Oh boy, and we're going to space. The moon, specifically, in this next one. Space missions. Train astronauts, assemble rockets, and launch missions into space. The ultimate goal is to successfully land on the moon. Dang, I was hoping just to land on it. Forget if it's successful. Just crash a rocket right on there.
We may crash land, just the way it is. Yeah, this one's doing about $5,000, just under 100 backers, 3 days to go. So this may be what Kickstarter is all about as well. And I think Castle Up, looking back, is one that Kickstarter is all about. So we've got 4 of them now. And yeah, looking at this, it looks like it could be pretty interesting. I like the idea of actually building the rocket and launching it.
Yeah.
I'm guessing there's a few games that maybe do that, but this one with those cards and stuff, it really makes it easy to visualize kind of building your rocket and stuff. So I think it seems interesting. Not always the biggest fan of like space themes, but I guess the rockets to get there are interesting.
Yes. It's got kind of a classic look to it.
It does.
Classic vibe, which I guess were whatever back in the day, trying to get to the moon. So I guess there's a reason that it feels that way, and they went with that look. But I think it's effective. It looks really nice. Another one that surprised me at how nice it looked. And it does. It has me interested. I think that's a fun theme. I feel like this marker should be a different color because black is always hard to see on our rug that is on top of our table.
That's true. Black is tough. Wooden pieces especially.
Lose them. But yeah, player markers is very nice. Yeah, it seems interesting. I don't know if it seemed maybe more complex than I was interested in. As I was watching it, I'm like, I was kind of lost a little bit, but it's always hard when you don't know a game, don't actually know the rules. It can seem more difficult than it actually is. I was looking at it, and you're filling in workers into the spots, which I like, putting little workers into the rocket ship. Then you got all these workers for their special effects. I think you draft 6 cards, and you use 5 of them, and there's a bunch of different actions that come with them, and a bunch of different missions to do and accomplish, and kind of first come, first serve. If you're the first one to it, you get higher points. That classic mechanism, and track movement.
I always love track.
Seems like a lot of different things that you have seen before, put together, hopefully into a solid package. But the core exciting part is just kind of putting the rockets together. Even though it's kind of a gimmick, just putting the cards next to each other, it just looks really fun and really nice. Like a good simulation game.
Yeah, I would agree. It's tough to tell if this will do anything, brand new, and that's the toughest sell for me. But this could also be one of those, especially with this had like under 100 backers. This could be like some hidden gem that
Could be.
becomes hard to find. I don't know. It's tough. This is their
This
first
could be a
created.
Mike DeLisio favorite game of all time.
That's true. And Mike will love this one and
is this
be
in
like,
Japan?
"Oh, well, you
Japan by
can't
any
get it,
chance?
but this is one of my favorite games of all time." It was a very limited print run. I'm one of like 100 people that owns the game.
Yeah.
Type
Yeah,
thing.
but like
But
all
I
these
can see that
symbols like
happening.
on the sides of these, and then it corresponds to cards and card rows, and I'm like, okay, what's going on here? What's the requirements? What's the bonuses? Is tokens slotted in here? I'm like, okay, this might be a little too much. This might be turning into a modern Shem Phillips game or something crazy like that.
If only Shem Phillips approved it, then we'd know it's going to deliver.
And got some modules as well in there. Play online on Tabletopia.
Looks like we're going to be busy on Tabletopia for a while.
Yeah, let us know. It's not our preferred site, but we could play some games over there if you guys are interested in that. We usually play Board Game Arena for our Try Before You Buy series, online gaming series, but if you want us to try Tabletopia, got any games on there, let us know.
Yeah.
But yeah, the pledge levels for this will be $55 for that core game. Otherwise, 2 copies for 103. And an early bird. I don't know if any is that closed. I assume it might be closed.
It looks like it's not available
closed.
to pledge.
So yeah, $55 is.
Well, now that I see shipping, is it even available in the US?
Yeah, maybe not. Never mind. Forget about this.
Well, now this is a Mike DeLisio
It
delight.
is.
He's gonna have his buddy Dan Hughes order him the game so that he can be one of only a few people. Dan can hold it hostage. I guess I don't know. Maybe this one is only EU. I just noticed that now. I saw the shipping.
Yeah, I guess we are gonna have to play it on Tabletopia.
We are, and then we'll love it and be like, "Dang it!"
Yeah, it looks cool.
It does.
I can give it a try. Another Mike DeLisio game. Ice.
This may not even be the last one of those.
No, it isn't.
But well, granted, I usually do agree with Mike myself more than you do, probably.
Yeah.
But granted, this ice seems pretty interesting. Like even when I saw it, so I think this is kind of a reprint of the initial game with maybe some additional content as well.
Yeah.
I think it definitely looked like a very interesting game of kind of actually digging down different
with a very
levels.
quick setup, I'm sure.
That I think is the scariest part. And actually, this one is even doing better than I thought. Almost 4,300 backers, 555,000 euros. But yeah, I love the look of this box cover.
I love the cover.
Talk about how it won an award for Dice Tower fans' best voted board game cover. It's a solid one.
It is.
But yeah, I still really like the idea. And when I went back and kind of looked at this, there we go, Mike DeLisio. I was kind of like, I really shouldn't be looking back at this because it just seems like a really cool thing. I don't know if the actual gameplay will feel as cool as like, oh yes, I'm uncovering some secrets underneath the ice and doing this cool feeling thing. If the actual gameplay feels that cool or not, I'm not sure.
Yeah, when it turns out to just kind of be it's kind of set collection, I think, in there a little bit. I'm like, when I'm uncovering the ice, I'm thinking of The Thing, the horror movie from the 80s, whatever, 70s, and I'm like, oh, exciting. This is going to be like an alien monster in here. It'll be some Nemesis-like board game. But then you're just getting artifacts and set collecting, getting victory points, which is good.
It turns it into more of a National Treasure Nicolas Cage.
Yes.
Intro.
Boring adventure like that. But yeah, so the theme gets me in, but I don't know if there's really that much like exciting theme like that. So I'm slightly maybe would be a little more interested in it then. But at the same time, I don't want to taint it with any like horror theme because that would have a totally different feel than what this cover gives you. It's just It's
That cover
beautiful.
could give.
It could be spooky. Just put some eyes over here in these corners.
They don't even know what they've just awakened.
But yeah, so this is kind of a second edition. There's an upgrade pack in here, and I think it sounds like a lot of tiles are new. Get some. I think we'll scroll by the upgrade pack. Where is the? So the unlimited box is both the expansions
They get pretty much
and the
everything.
base game in a big box. That's going to be 129 euros, which there's a lot in there. You saw that board with all those tiles going down there. So, and a lot of screen printed
Looks like metal
meeples,
coins.
metal coins, yeah.
July 2025. Also note.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it's over a year out.
Yes, yeah. And then the two expansions, or the conversion kit, and then the new expansion would be for 45 euros. The standard box retail edition of the game for 60 euros. And the full gameplay standard box for 99 euros. And all in everything I said we have to offer for new backers. And it looks like they even have some wood collector insert from Laser Rocks. We don't have any of their inserts, but they look very, very cool.
They do look pretty cool. I don't know if that makes it quicker, easier to set up.
Oh, yeah.
It does seem like one that, like you said, would take a little bit to set up with putting all those tiles out. Because unfortunately, before you get to dig down, you get to set up.
You get to build
up.
Yeah, it's... Which, I mean, maybe that's satisfying. It seems like that could be satisfying building up, but you're playing it all the time. Not so sure. But yeah, the deluxe, it becomes a magnet board instead of a puzzle piece board. Metal point tokens, 50 of them. Oh my goodness. Cool. Get an insert, printing on all pieces of the box. Yeah, I was tempted by this one originally. I was maybe not as interested in gameplay, or as enough to keep me from going all in on it, but now it's even more deluxe. It's proven gameplay-wise to be good. Shouldn't be looking at it. Shouldn't be looking at it.
Better go see what Professor Meg has to say.
Yes. She doesn't look too thrilled.
She doesn't. But Alex looks like he's having a grand old time.
Goodness, he's talking. He takes any chance to talk about this game. Half of these videos, Board Game Co. Shipping. Oh my goodness. Returning backers.
Yeah, it looks like
another 20 30.
20, 30. Yeah. And it gets up there in that same price range as everything else, it seems like.
Yeah.
And over a year out. Wonder if this one will come to retail. I don't know if the initial run ever did. I can't remember. Was this one that was like heavily delayed initially?
I forget. I'm not sure.
I don't want to accuse them of that if they didn't. So I'm sorry if that's one all delivered on time and everything, but I feel like it was one like this or this one or something. I like took a long time for delivery. Maybe. But yeah, I think it did deliver, so that's all that matters. I think maybe not everyone got it. There'll be that one person watching out of the 80 that watch. That's like, oh, mine never delivered. I'm sorry.
It looks fun. It looks fun. I love the digging down in the ice. It's too tempting. I gotta stop looking.
Quit looking at it, Peppa.
My goodness.
Look at something else.
Another beautiful game. Dang it! Why did I go to another beautiful game? Luckily, we have this game already. An early version. Keystone North America, 2nd edition, plus Coastal Expansion. You have not played Keystone North America. You had the opportunity. You were down here, and we did not play it.
We played a lot of games. That one was not one.
But I enjoy it quite a bit. It's awesome card placement. A lot of beautiful card art in there. And this looks very different cover-wise. That one, I think it's kind of split into like 4 corners with a few different animals. So I can't tell if it's the same artist or not. I might have to go look, but I love these covers as well. It's doing very well. over 1,100 backers, $92,000. And this one is another nature-themed game. But yeah, you have a row of cards here. You're drafting them, putting them into your tableau, your 4x4 grid here, and you're going to score for each column and each row based on various symbols that are on the cards in those columns and rows and runs of numbers that you can make within them. So if you want to make a perfect board, sorry to tell you, well, at least I could not do it because they're just all intersecting. I'm sure there's some perfect mathematical way to get everything to work perfectly, but it felt near impossible to get everyone to work. So you're going to have to make sacrifices and just try to stack a few of your rows. And then that's where it's at. But this comes with some water, coastal expansion, some orcas here. I'm tempted. I like the game.
I guess, does this look similar to the same stuff in the initial?
It does. I think, well, the cards at least. Maybe these tiles. I think there were tiles in the base game. These ones, they look slightly different. But yeah, the cards are the same layout and icons and everything.
From your plays, do you think that it felt like it was just going to be like a 1 or 2 player game? Because I believe now they just changed it to 1 to 2 players.
Oh, it's just 1 to 2. Ooh. I mean, I've only played it solo, and it has like a solo campaign, and it feels pretty solo. You're just building your board. There might have been a little competition in multiplayer. Not sure. I feel like you could have up to 4 players. I don't remember.
Yeah, I think there was like a add-on where you could make the expansion 4 players and this new second edition 4 players, but I don't know. I was just curious because I think I saw Z Garcia talk about it and say that it was only made for 1 to 2 players, but I don't know if he was joking or what.
Interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't see anything that would really seem like it wouldn't work at more players. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it looks good and interesting. I obviously hope to play the initial one at some point. But yeah, I think we got that at retail. So if they're not offering something specific here, I would think that you'd maybe have a chance to pick it up at retail for probably roughly the same amount you'd end up doing here. But if you want some of these extra things that they've got, I'm sure this is your best opportunity.
Yeah.
When does this one say it'll deliver?
This is looking for May 2025.
This one's about a year out as well. But yeah, I think I do like the looks of those covers probably a little bit better. What do you think about the plushies?
We've got plushies. I think I am very tempted to get the manatee plushie. Oh my goodness. There you are. Tempted. Why do I look at these? Why are you showing me all these games?
Get to the next one then.
Goodness. But you can get, oh my goodness, you can get it by himself. I thought he was 10 more than the other one. But he's not there even. Wedge Puffin's all right too, but manatee, that's where it's at.
That is where it's at.
Name's going to be Coleslaw. I don't know why, but it's going to be.
Wow.
But not Coleslaw is tea, especially Formosa Tea. Another Mike Delicio game.
Mike Delicio delight. And I'm actually, I don't know, because of that and just because of the look of this one, surprised this isn't doing a little bit better.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, still doing well. 31,000 isn't anything to scoff at. And
tea right here.
Almost 700 backers, week to go. So hopefully it'll continue to go up. But maybe it's the price. I think that's what's holding me back a little bit. But I really love the cover of this one. This one might be one of my favorite covers in a board game.
Ooh, boy.
I really like the look. And I feel like
It's good.
Maybe I'm remembering this wrong, but I think the first edition was Tasty Minstrel Games. And I feel like either they or some company had like some sale when they were going out of business. And this was one of the games available, and it was like relatively cheap. And I was really debating at the time to get it, and I didn't end up doing it. Now I really regret that, I think, looking at this. But it looks like they maybe made a few updates and stuff to some cards as well. I think this one also has an upgrade pack. I don't know if it did initially for the first edition, but I think they eventually did add one. From the looks of the comments, I was reading some people's comments on it because I was wondering if people were like, "Oh, this is a reason why I'm not backing it" or something, and couldn't really find that. But there were a lot of people that were saying, "I've got the first edition. Can you have an upgrade pack? Can you have an upgrade pack?" And then they obviously, I think, added something for that. So I even though this looks like very kind of classic worker placement look to it, not like anything like amazing, like not like the Castle Burgundy Deluxe Edition or anything. There's just something about it that just I don't know. I really love the look of, but I think I just maybe in general like the look of classic worker placement games, and it seems to be using some interesting mechanics of like planting these different plants or gaining them, and then the tea leaves, and then drying them, the different colors and stuff, and moving along, and depending on how quickly you do, and if other players go on those spaces, they like can help you and stuff. I don't know. It seemed like a somewhat interactive game that also just seemed really like you were making some interesting decisions.
Oh, yeah.
But then I saw this shipping of almost $30, and I'm like, ooh. Because I thought the game price, I was like, it's not like awful. You got the upgrade pack there for
$20, which is good.
Bad. Which I guess if I was going to Essen, I could pick it up. Which, well, not that, but the other one, I think it's the same price, so $50. I'm like, that's probably about right for that style of Euro game.
$30 extra.
And then 30, it gets to be $80.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's not very, like I said, it's not like totally deluxe. Oh boy, you got to try it there. Just got that classic look, not really deluxeified. So then it's like 80 is getting up there for game with a bunch of cubes and pretty basic meeples.
Yeah.
But I really like the look of all the stuff though. Like the coloring they use and stuff just has that really kind of tranquil feel. I mean, it just
giving me viticulture feels.
Yeah, that's fair. That is probably the closest comparison that I could think of too.
Yeah.
I'm
interested. I'm interested in, I guess, I don't know how highly rated it is, gameplay wise.
I'm not sure. But this one is one that I'm really hoping is coming to retail. If I could get it close to that 50 price point and from like a miniature marker game nerd and have no shipping after some other games of buying, that'll make it a little bit easier to swallow, I think, than that. But yeah, this is what Kickstarter's for. These kind of games here. Bringing games back, classic games.
Half the games of today is this, bringing Cribbage back.
Oh boy.
Making it wicked smart.
Wicked smart.
So Cribbage, I didn't know it was so popular. 549 people are interested in Cribbage. Make that 551. Put us in there. And we got $25,320 funded in 2 hours. So $7,500 in 2 hours is pretty good.
Especially for something like this where it's not really doing. I mean, it's taking Cribbage and then just adding some potential take that random event type cards to it.
Balanced. They've said doesn't kill the core of the game.
Supposedly.
Said it. And I gotta believe them. As fair as it is, fantastic and fun.
I feel like when I first saw this pop up, I think I watched the Brothers Murph video of it, playthrough of it, and I was just some of the cards. I was like, I don't know about that.
Oh, your opponent picks a random card face up or whatever one they want, and then they do it, and then you're like, and you move that many spaces forward. I'm like, okay, so, and it could be backwards. So there can be some swingy things in there.
Landing on 5s gets you cards and stuff, and 15s and 31s. These cards that affected. So.
And I think you have an immediate effects list on the next card you play is wild. It returns to its original rank for the show. Next card you play is a go, regardless of the count. Restart the count. I mean, I like that there's wacky things that you can throw in there. And as someone who loves Cribbage, I I'm interested in a way to mix it up.
Mhm.
I feel like, yeah, we could just home make our own ideas with steal all
Yeah.
these ideas. Very, very sorry, but steal those and maybe remove some that we maybe aren't as big fans of. If it does feel, take that. But if you do want some nice cards to actually use, then you
Right.
can back it in this version.
Mhm.
But yeah, this is what Kickstarter is made for, bringing wacky ideas to life.
That's true.
It's made for many things.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Outside of having kind of that printed version of that, outside of that, it could easily be an idea that is just put on like Board Game Geek
Yeah,
as
yeah,
add these types of things, events to that.
yeah, yeah.
Could have just had like a sheet of potential things that could happen and roll like a 20-sided die or something and have that happen. But
Yeah,
obviously that could happen over and over. But
yeah, yeah. So we got
yeah.
the core game for $20. Comes with 32 cards, so 16 of each of the types. One you can save for later. One just happens immediately.
Mhm.
Otherwise, you can get the deluxe set for $30, and that comes with 32 more cards, 2 expansions, 16 cards each. Which I would think if you're going in, you may as well get those 2 expansions.
Yeah.
Why? It's only $10. Why is that not just the base pledge? What is so different in these cards that
I
has
don't
to be
know.
an expansion? I'm not believing it.
I I I don't understand some pledge levels sometimes. Just doesn't make much sense to me.
Okay, so these ones are strategic cards. These ones are luck cards. So could have just separated those in the base game. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying as a cribbage lover. Uh, but yeah, and if you don't have a cribbage board or a deck of cards, you can go and get the cribbage starter set. Comes with all this stuff as well as a deck of cards and a board.
Yeah.
Cribbage is great, and I recommend the core game as well. And you can even search our How to Play Cribbage Solo video and learn how to play it by yourself.
Yes, Pepper walks you through that.
Yes.
He's a master cribbager.
Yeah, where is shipping here? Timeline. Okay, ship. Not too high. Not too high.
Not too bad.
6 minutes.
Not awful.
Looking for March 2025. My goodness, there's just cards in here.
Why
Hopefully
does it need? It does not seem like something that should take a year, but okay. Well, I guess less than a year now.
Hopefully they can hit it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, speaking of solo cribbage, another solo game with cards. Hunted mining.
Speaking of
colony
aliens
415.
first under the ice.
Yes. This is, you couldn't tell, this may be slightly related to the certain Alien franchise of films.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
And
solo game. Solo game of the month. We've seen them appear a couple times, I think, on the series that we've done, and I think they usually do well. This one's doing pretty well. 1,300 backers, almost $30,000, and this one has me interested. I like the art style.
it is an
Throughout
interesting
the
art
cards.
style.
Just kind of that dual, just red and kind of gold on a black background, kind of retro, cool look to it. Kind of differentiates it from the Alien franchise. I don't really see that's usually green and kind of black, and this is a little different. So, while it's the same, it's got its own unique feel that it adds.
I
But
would
this
agree.
is a little bit of push your luck, it looks like. I think you have a deck of cards and you're kind of revealing them, and they each kind of provide symbols that you can spend, and they have a cost on the bottom and a reward as well. So you're getting those out there. Some of them have noise symbols on them. So when the aliens show up, you do not want to have your noise symbols there. So you got to spend the resources on the cards to buy other cards and activate their abilities, and possibly pass different tests or attacks by the aliens, which is pretty much throwing these tokens into this kind of like VHS tape box that they have and try to land it in the circle area of this printed sheet. And it has a flip side that makes it hard with a smaller square area and an even smaller triangular area. That seems, I don't know if that's a great test system. It just depends how hard it is to get it in there. But they also
Right.
have cards that you flip a card and that tells you your result as well. If you don't want that kind of dexterity throwing, they have that option as well. They have some variable damage cards, a few different ways to mix it up. Felt like a unique system. I love any game where it's just one deck of cards and you're trying to manage it and manipulate it in various ways to survive.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to make a solo game. If you make it simple enough that you can have that pretty much deck of cards, maybe a few additional things as well. But then just being able to just kind of go cycle through that, and that's kind of how most of the game plays. That's a really good way to do a solo system, I think.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, this was the second edition. This will be, speaking of second editions, $24 for that. Otherwise, a print and play version for $5. Update pack. Speaking of update packs, we got another one. $9 there.
Yeah, it looks like it should deliver in a couple months, August already. So,
yeah,
quick turnaround.
I'm interested in this one. Shipping $5. Can't get much better than that.
Doesn't get much better than that. That's right.
Kinfire Council.
Yes, this one's made quite a bit of money, 236,000, 2,100 backers 4 days ago. And I think that's based on a lot of their games in this world being pretty successful, especially like Kinfire Chronicles. I think that one was the one that did quite well last year, was very loved by a lot of people. And I actually I think I saw it on Game Nerds and was tempted because I looked up some reviews and almost everything was really highly positive. And I thought maybe this was related to that, but it looks like this is a completely different game. And it does a few things that I don't know are quite for our group. I think there's kind of you're deciding
voting,
how to change the game and stuff. Yeah, and voting things and stuff, which usually I think work better with more players.
Yeah.
And we usually play a lot of games at 2 or 3 and kind of make some of these things not as interesting, I think.
Yeah.
So, just seeing the other one, I think I'd be way more interested in that than this personally. But I mean, it looks like it's probably pretty good for if this is a style of game that seems really interesting to you, I think this one could be pretty solid. And a lot of the artwork and stuff all looks really good.
Yeah.
I think that was the case for their other ones as well, so it's not too surprising there.
Yeah, but the price for the base version would be $60, which isn't that bad. But if you do want to upgrade, get the deluxe bundle of the game as well as the Winds of Change expansion, and the deluxe version is going to be $99, which is a bit more. There. Like you said, it's not overly our style, so. Not for us, but for a lot of people. Clearly, a lot of people are in this.
It looks like a July 2025 delivery date, so it's going to be a ways out there yet. But I guess I don't know how quickly. It looks like you can go back and get some of their other stuff too. So if you are interested in some of those games, I'm hoping they'll be available in retail afterwards. Since I know Kinfire Chronicles was for a while. I don't know if it was very long. It might have sold out everything pretty quickly because it was so popular, but. The way to get that one as well.
Yeah. Dance of Muses, a fascinating pure strategy board game. 732 backers, $33,000. This one oh my goodness, Board Game Arena. You can try it on there. You have to send them in their Facebook group your nickname, and try it on Board Game Arena. We might have to do that.
Like Board Game Arena.
Looks really cool. You pretty much are trying to get all these dancers, muses up to a value of 6, the dice on them, and they all have various kind of grid activation of other tiles around them. So you're moving one or possibly a row of them and activating all of them. When you move them, you upgrade their dice by 1. And then, I don't know, was it if you move just one maybe? Or then you activate the ability, or I'm not sure when you activate the ability.
Yeah, I wasn't really sure on that. That's where I was like, I'd be interested in trying this one out because it looks like an interesting thing, and I really like
Yeah.
the look of a lot of this stuff.
Very puzzly, trying to keep everything connected because you don't want to disconnect any because then they'd be lost, so you can't do that.
Right.
Oh,
yeah, I guess I don't remember. What's that?
Oh my goodness, look at those gemstone dice.
They're pretty solid looking dice. But yeah, I thought this one looked pretty interesting. I think it would end up being more of a game for you than me by the time we ended up actually playing it, but because you're having to, they call it chess like almost. So I could definitely see that with trying to activate things or moving things and activating certain ones that you want to and trying to get all of yours to be as high as possible. So I'd be interested in trying this one out and really getting a feel for it because at first I was thinking, oh, I don't know if this will look that interesting. But then when I was looking at the gameplay, I'm like, that would be kind of cool trying to do that.
$12 print and play, $22 base game, and $44 for deluxe. Probably a bit much. Or if you want art, you can go even higher. Not sure where the shipping was. If it had that here. Not sure, but you can find it on your own somewhere.
May 2025 delivery, so it's about a year out as well.
Yeah, I'm interested in this. Might have to try that. Oh, there it is. $17.
It's quite a bit of shipping for what seems, even though it looks like a very interesting game, it seems also like a smaller game, so it's kind of tough to swallow, but
looks cool. Speaking of smaller games, Tenby, 511 backers, $16,000. Looks very cute, almost like a cartoon. It seems like a very simple game. You have various cards here. You have scoring conditions on the bottom, which score for what's either right next to them or 2 down the line or different things like that based on what arrows are there. And you're drafting these cards and placing them on one side, either side of your city so that the artwork matches, scoring for the various things of clouds or lampposts or benches or birds, getting points. It seems very simple, very approachable.
It does seem very simple.
Made me think of Point Salad, just as a very good, quick filler game. The drafting made me think maybe a little bit of King Domino, as I think you kind of draft different slots, and maybe I think that determines your order for the next drafting session.
Makes me think a little bit of Kanagawa as well.
Oh, yeah. As you're kind of creating the line. Yeah, that's just pretty good.
But, yeah, I really like the look of this one and how simple it looks. I think this one could be one that could just be one of those go-to kind of filler almost style games. It really feels like that could be the case with this one.
Yes, yeah, for sure. This feels like one that should be on Board Game Arena. Wait a minute. Tabletop Simulator. We don't use that. Might have to get it.
Might have to.
Yeah, this one looks, what is the price point here? Retail pledge, regular visitor for $36. Seems a bit much for us. For how much we probably play it. We have a lot of approachable games. Get the expansion as well in there, bring it up to $43. Shipping is going to be. Are we in here anywhere? United States.
United States, roll one.
Yes, that's a bit. It's getting like $60.
Yeah, for what's kind of seems like a simple card game. Gets to just be tough, unfortunately.
And the last one, and we are running out of time in our filming time, and we're not going to make a third session for this. So luckily, we have already covered this game. Covered. So go check out our try before you buy about this game. We liked it. We really liked the board game arena implementation. Did very well, very good job. The artwork looks really nice. It's Kind of a similar game to Micro Dojo. It's got $24,000, over 630 backers. It's a cool kind of action selection game around this circular area. Gets really tight throughout the game, and you're just managing a couple different resources and trading resources to get victory points. And it's an interesting flow to a game.
Yeah, it really is. And yeah, you'll definitely, if you go check out that video, which we can link below,
Yes.
you'll get definitely a good feel of it.
It has a
Then you got a
small
couple
version,
different
or
versions.
you can get a big version. So you can get a small version for $16, big version for $51. And shipping is going to be another $10 plus, possibly, depending on what version you get.
That is true. But yeah, subscribe. Otherwise, we see you on the next one. As always, don't forget to keep on nibbling on our content.